Hey, welcome back, everybody. The biggest shifts in life, they rarely come with fireworks. They don't always announce themselves. They definitely don't show up with a big sign that says, "This is your moment." Oftentimes, they slide in quietly during that random conversation, or taking on that small project that nobody really wanted, or maybe an unplanned remark from somebody who didn't think twice about saying it. But here's the thing. Most people miss them. Not because they aren't capable, not because they're not ready, but because they're tuned into the loud signals. And they often overlook the quiet ones. It's like everyone's waiting for the big headline. But the real moves, the ones that shape careers and open doors, they often happen subtly. I've seen it happen over and over again. You go grab a cup of coffee with a former coworker, turns into a job lead. A quick chat in the hallway after a meeting turns into a new role before it's ever even posted. Sometimes it's just being in the right place, listening closely, and connecting the dots. Before anyone else realizes, there's even dots to connect. But now, here's where it gets tricky. Spotting those moments takes practice. It means shifting your focus, paying attention to things that don't seem important in the moment, and knowing how to act when the opportunity isn't obvious. So with that, let's get into round 88 of the tactical transition tips. This time the topic is when opportunity knocks quietly. For the close range group, those of you looking at your transition right away or you're less than a year out, read between the lines. Because the best opportunities often come unannounced. Sometimes they're hidden in the words during a conversation. For the medium range group, those of you looking at your transition in 5 years or so, plant opportunity seeds. The work you put in now creates the relationships for the inside track later on. And for the long range group, those of you just starting your careers, you've got at least a decade before your transition. Learn to see the future. Those who can anticipate what's coming next are better at positioning themselves to be the first one to be considered for what's next. Close range group. So here you are, staring at that 1 year mark, maybe even less. You know the uniform's coming off soon, and you bounce between excited and anxious. This part of the process feels overwhelming. The stress, the uncertainty, the constant background noise in your head, that voice saying, "This is really happening. Will I find the right thing? Will I find anything? Will I be ready?" But here's the thing. You're not going to find your answer plastered on a billboard, probably. Many of your potential opportunities, they're not going to come from a job posting. And that's kind of a double-edged sword. On one side, yes, it sucks because you'll see job postings. But you got to understand, sometimes those postings, they've likely already been given to someone. The postings might just be to see if there's any better candidates. So yes, apply. Or maybe it's just to appease HR requirements. But on the other side, it's great because you're the one getting that spot. Everyone else is going to be applying, likely not ever having a chance. These opportunities show up quietly. They come in conversations, in moments you weren't expecting. That's why the skill you need right now is learning to read between the lines. When someone casually mentions a project, a program, or an opening, most people might miss it. Maybe they brush it off, thinking that it's only small talk. They figure, if it's real, I'll hear about it later. But by the time it's official, by the time the posting is public, it's already crowded with candidates, or it's already been filled. And that's where they've already lost. But if you can catch those signals before everyone else, you suddenly shift from being one of many to being one of the first. And being early isn't just about speed. It's about being intentional. It tells people you're paying attention, that you've got awareness, and that you're someone who's proactive. This October 28th and 29th, the Military Officers Association of America is bringing together 3,000 voices, military leaders, warfighters, veterans, and families at National Harbor in Maryland for their inaugural conference, Total Force Plus. This isn't just another military conference. It's a mission to advance solutions for our military and veteran community, including leadership development, quality of life, military transition, and maximizing the veterans' experience. It's all on the table. This is where the next generation of military solutions will be tackled, at the first and only military conference where people outrank everything. And because the mission is so important, MOA is making attendance free for those who are currently serving, the spouses of those currently serving, and all federal employees within the DoD and VA. Secure your seat now, as tickets are limited and offered on a first-come, first-served basis. Visit TotalForcePlus.org to see if you qualify for your free ticket and to register for the conference. I want you to think about the last time you were at any type of event or networking situation. I want you to think about the last time you were hanging out with someone who's maybe already made the jump into the civilian world. Did they say something like, yeah, my company's been talking about expanding X, or there's this new project we're trying to get off the ground? Most people who really aren't dialed in on the conversation might nod, give the generic, oh yeah, and move on. But think about it. Put yourself back in that situation. Instead of immediately asking more questions, did you overthink it? Telling yourself, yeah, I'm not ready. I'm not qualified. They wouldn't even select me. So in your head, you already eliminated yourself without ever taking a shot. On the other hand, you hear that for what it is, a door that cracked open. That's an invitation to ask a follow-up, dig a little deeper. Hey, can you tell me more about it? Do you think I could help? 9 times out of 10, those moments are the early sparks of opportunities that later turn into jobs or at least an introduction to the right person. Here's something else. When someone drops a hint, if you're in a large group and you don't want to tip your hand, make sure you at least write it down. Take out your phone, make yourself a note. Don't trust your memory, especially right now when your head is full of a million other transition things. But besides just writing it down, before you leave, maybe try to find a way to privately pull that person aside. Hey, I'm interested in talking to you more about it. If there's time and they're open to it, maybe the conversation happens right then. If not, make sure you follow up within a day, maximum 2, because you have to be assuming the others in that group heard it also, and they're going to be the ones also reaching out. However, if they're not, how much better does that make you look? And along those same lines, you got to ask better questions. You can't just sit back and wait for information. You have to create it. Start asking questions that open doors instead of closing them. Instead of the yes-no type, ask the forward-looking type questions. What changes are coming down the pipeline in your organization? Are there any programs or roles that people don't know about yet? Those questions don't just get you information. They signal to the person that you're talking to that you're thinking ahead and you're not just sitting back waiting. You also need, though, to pay attention to tone and context. Sometimes what people say isn't as important as how they say it. You'll especially notice it when the person starts talking about a project and they get real excited or they get animated. They're obviously excited about it or there's interest in it. However, if their tone drops, like they're sharing something that's not supposed to be public yet, being able to read between the lines isn't just about words. It's about context, body language, the overall vibe of the conversation. If you're alert, you'll catch it. And when you do, lean into it. Sometimes just showing you noticed makes people want to share more. And the last thing, act quickly but smoothly. This is a trap a lot of people fall into. They wait. They think about it too long. They say, oh yeah, I'll reach out next week. But by next week, it's too late. By then, someone else has already stepped into the space. If you hear something worth chasing, follow up within 24 hours. Doesn't have to be pushy. Quick phone call, an email. Hey, good talking with you yesterday. I'd love to learn more when you have a chance. That simple act separates you from the crowd. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying this in a way that you should be sneaky or manipulating the situation. It's simply about awareness and respecting that sometimes opportunities arrive quietly, and you've got to be the one who notices. Think of it this way. You've spent a career reading environments, noticing the small details, picking up on body language, the tone, those subtle signals. Use those skills, transfer them here. Transition isn't just about learning to apply them in a different arena. It's about learning to use them to your advantage. So let me put this back on you. What's one conversation you've had recently that might deserve a second look? Did someone mention a project or a challenge they're dealing with? Did you follow up or did you let it pass? Here's the reality. These quiet knocks don't wait around. They're fleeting. Either you hear them and you act, or you hear them and you don't act. And then you wonder later, man, what could have been? Something else? Don't just listen for what's said. Listen for what's not being said as well. Sometimes silence is just as telling. Say the person dances around the topic. If there's hesitation in a conversation, it could mean that there's something more, or that they're not comfortable talking about it with you. You got to read the situation, especially if you pick up on that. If it's a one-on-one, the reality might be they just don't want to talk to you about it. But if it's a group, maybe there's someone in the group they don't want to know about it. That's your chance. Maybe change the topic or the discussion, but pay attention to how the key person reacts. Do they immediately jump on the new topic like they're telling you, hey man, thanks for changing the subject? Maybe they don't. Maybe they still subtly ignore you. Regardless, this is definitely the chance to follow up privately. So let's wrap up this section. If you're close to transition, this is your mission. Start treating every interaction like it could hold the key to your next step. Don't just hear the words. Listen to the layers beneath them. Don't walk away from a casual remark and do nothing about it. Write it down, follow up, act on it. Reading between the lines isn't just about being observant. It's about positioning yourself, looking ahead, and proving that you're ready for what's next. The person who hears that quiet knock and opens the door first, that's the person who gets chosen, not the one waiting in line when the announcement goes public. Medium range group. Your transition is over the horizon. It's not next month, it's not next year, but you know it's coming. You have time. Time to build or improve your relationships. Time to get intentional about shaping what comes next. Planting opportunity seeds now gives them time to grow into something you can harvest when the time comes. And when I say seeds, I'm talking about creating value in small ways that are going to compound into big returns down the line. The kind of work that makes you the person people already know and trust, and the kind of person that they want to pull into their circle when something opens up. Start by building relationships before you need them. Networking isn't about shaking hands at a job fair. It's about building genuine mutual relationships over a period of time. If you don't have them already, identify a handful of people who are doing work you find interesting or that you want to transition into. Reach out, not because you're looking for something today. You just want to show them that you're truly interested. Ask good questions. Listen more than you talk, and keep showing up. Because here's what happens. When an opportunity does come up down the road, you're not cold calling anyone. You're reaching out to someone who already knows who you are, what you bring to the table, and why they think you should have the position. But you need to be the person that people trust. If you want to be that person who gets recommended later, you have to be the person that people trust now. That means showing up consistently. It means doing your job well, not just because it's required, but because it builds your reputation. Every time you deliver on a task, every time you handle a situation with composure, every time you solve a problem, especially the ones that others have avoided, you're planting seeds, and people notice, even when it feels like they don't. Leaders remember who volunteer not just for the tough or the fun assignments, but who also volunteer for the shit assignments, but deliver in all of them. Coworkers remember who helps them without expecting anything in return. When you build a pattern of reliability, you make yourself the person others want to bet on later. Hey, real quick, let's talk surfing and bourbon. The Pendleton Surf Club's all-military surf contest is happening October 9th through the 12th at Church Surf Break on Camp Pendleton. Whether you ride a longboard or a shortboard, if you're active duty, a veteran, or a military spouse, this is your chance to paddle out, compete, and connect. It's 4 days of nonstop action, pro-level judging, raffles, giveaways, and shared stoke with your crew on the sand. Your registration includes meals, contest swag, and the chance to take home the trophy. Spots are limited, and registration closes October 1st, so secure your place now at pendletonsurfclub.com. And for those whose ears perked up when I said bourbon, Pendleton Surf Club has released Board Shack Bourbon, crafted to celebrate the stories, the service, and the surf. Every penny from every bottle sold funds the event and supports the surfers. So even if you don't surf, you can support the event and enjoy some good bourbon. Grab your board, get your bottle, and help give back to military members and veterans. Go check out pendletonsurfclub.com. You might not be leaving today. You're likely not leaving today. But are you eligible to get out? It just hasn't hit on your calendar yet. You should always know where the currents are shifting, both in your world and outside it. Pay attention to what's changing. Is your organization adding any new programs or positions or some sort of multi-organization task force or working group? Would any of these make you want to stay longer? Are there companies expanding, implementing new programs or positions? Are they hiring behind the scenes? Are you able to jump at those opportunities right now? This isn't about chasing every new thing. It's about staying situationally aware. Transition isn't just about finding a job. It's about knowing where opportunities will exist before they're obvious. The earlier you see where the winds are shifting, the better positioned you are when you need to move. That awareness also makes you more valuable, not only in your career today, but when you step away from it. Leaders rely on people who can anticipate challenges and prepare solutions before they're asked. Also, don't limit yourself to just the obvious. Look at the gaps around you. Are there emerging technologies shaping your field? If you can get ahead of that curve, you're building an edge that makes you more valuable now and more competitive later. The last thing to remember, don't wait until you need help to start helping others. Be the person who makes introductions, shares information, and looks out for your coworkers. When you give first, without any strings attached, you build a reputation for generosity and leadership. And the cool thing about generosity, it comes back around, down the road. The doors you held open for others today often lead to the doors being held open for you. So to close this section, every relationship you build, every skill you develop, every door you hold open now, those are the seeds you're planting. And like any crop, they don't grow overnight. It's the steady, deliberate work over time that makes them bear fruit. When the day comes, you'll be grateful you started early. Plant your opportunity seeds now. Build trust. Grow your skills. Grow those relationships. Grow your awareness without losing focus on your current mission. Then, when your transition comes, you likely won't be chasing opportunities. There's a good chance they'll be chasing you. Long range group. So you're new or newer in your career. Here's something for the future you. The habits you're building today are shaping the options you're going to have tomorrow. Learn to see the bigger picture early on. Develop the ability to look around corners, anticipate shifts, and prepare yourself for the opportunities you can't see yet. Preparedness is actually made up of a bit of pessimism, because if everything went smoothly, there'd be less, if any, need to prepare. So remember, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Careers get interrupted. Promotions don't always come. Injuries happen. Budgets get cut. And if that moment comes, it's the person who's been preparing that's in the best position to react and pivot. This might surprise you, but the best way to prepare for your future is to dominate your present. The fastest way to create options later is to be the best you can where you are right now. That means showing up early, owning your responsibilities, paying attention when others are coasting, learning the job inside and out. Not just your job, but the ones above you and next to you. The people who rise in any organization, they're the ones who take ownership. They're the ones leaders know they can depend on. And if you build that reputation now, it follows you. Promotions happen faster. Opportunities show up sooner. Doors open that might have never opened for you. One of the smartest things you can do, learn that job that you don't have yet. Learn what your supervisor does. Watch how leaders make decisions. Pay attention to how they handle conflict, manage their resources, and communicate under pressure. Ask questions about their duties. Find out what they wish they'd known when they were at your stage. Remember, leadership opportunities don't always wait for a date on the calendar. Sometimes they land in your lap unexpectedly. Someone retires unplanned. Someone transfers. A new leadership position opens up, and suddenly you're in the running. Even better, learning the role above you forces you to think differently. It shifts you from just completing tasks to thinking strategically, someone who understands the why behind the what. And that skill translates everywhere, no matter where you end up down the road. What is the grind? It's not just a routine, but the decision we make to wake up, give everything we've got, then find a way to go further. Grind, spelt GRND, is more than a brand. It's a movement, an emotion we all feel connected to as we work daily to pursue our goals and support each other. Founded by a former Army Ranger, Grind Activewear has a clear mission to give 100% and then some more in sport, fitness, and in life. Functional, high-quality performance wear that's rooted in American culture, because you demand gear that outworks the rest. Whether you're on the field, in the gym, or building your own lane, Grind is for those who refuse to settle. Go check out the Grind Collective, that's thegrndcollective.com, and tap into something bigger than clothing. And while you're there, use the promo code TRANSITION15 to get 15% off your purchase. Another thing is to never stop learning. Your career is not a fixed path. The future you can't see is going to demand skills you don't have today. Pay attention to where your industry's heading, what technologies are emerging, what skill sets are becoming more valuable, what problems keep showing up that no one seems to solve. Then invest in yourself. Read everything you can. Take classes. Go to college. Also, get exposure to areas outside your lane, even if they don't seem relevant today. Your goal isn't to prepare for the one specific job. It's to make yourself adaptable, versatile, and positioned for opportunities you don't even know exist yet. The last thing is start seeing around corners. Learn to anticipate. People who succeed long-term don't just react to change. They anticipate it, and they're ahead of it. Start watching patterns. Notice what's shifting in your organization, your industry, your community. Pay attention to policy changes. What's trending or what's emerging? Budgets and funding sources. And when you see something coming, likely before a lot of other people will, Ask yourself, how do I prepare for this? That ability to connect the dots early and adjust before the rest of the crowd is one of the most valuable career skills you can develop. It makes you proactive, not reactive. It puts you in control instead of constantly playing catch up. Learning to see the future isn't about predicting it. It's about preparing for it. The more deliberate you are now, the more freedom you'll have later. Freedom to choose instead of being chosen. So, in closing, right now, your mission is simple. Master today. Prepare for tomorrow. Be excellent where you're at. Build habits that carry you forward. Stay curious, stay adaptable, and keep sharpening your ability to read the environment around you. We've rounded third and we're heading for home. Not every moment announces itself. Some chances arrive quietly, hidden in a passing conversation, where your awareness makes all the difference. That next chapter isn't waiting for your permission. It's already making its way toward you. So when the moment comes, be ready to move, be ready to listen, be ready to act, because the future belongs to the ones who learn to hear when opportunity knocks quietly. If you've stayed until this point, thank you. Staying until the end definitely helps the engagement ratings. I'd really appreciate any comments you have. Tell me what I'm doing right. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. What am I missing that would be beneficial for you? Reach out to me on social media, send me an email. The links are all in the show notes. Another ask, please share the podcast with anyone you think could benefit from and enjoy it. And last, don't forget to sign up for the newsletter.